morning. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Friends, people in the Northeast have bounced back resoundingly from the impact of COVID pandemic. The tourist spots are seeing good number of footfall and tourism is gradually picking up. Today we will go to Mizoram and learn how the state is gearing up to welcome tourists keeping the COVID protocols in mind. If you do plan on visiting the region, don't forget to go to Ukhrul district of Manipur, known for its black earthenware. In this edition, we'll learn how rural potters are ramping up the scale of production. Tripura's Belonia Municipal Council under South Tripura district has bagged the best city in citizens' feedback of population up to 25,000 award announced by the Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in its annual ranking survey Swachh Sarvekshan 2020. A report from our Agartala correspondent Reena.
In the nationwide sanitation ranking exercise, Swachh Sarvekshan 2020, out of a total of 4,242 covered cities, Belonia Municipal Council under South Tripura district has been named as the best town in the country by 2020. Belonia Municipality Council got selection in population less than 25,000 category R1 local body section. Meanwhile, Panisagar Nagar Panchayat and the Dharmanagar Municipality Council under North Tripura secured 5th and 6th position respectively, while Mohanpur Municipality Council in West Tripura and Udaipur Municipality Council under Gomati district could also bag 10th and 14th positions in the Northeastern Regional category. Director of Urban Development Department, Government of Tripura, Dr. Sanjeev Mahatme told media that the main objectives of urban local body is to maintain open defecation-free status, collection of waste from every household using the service of women-run SHGs, management and recycling of different sorts of waste, etc. Swachh Sarvekshan is an annual ranking exercise taken up by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs to assess urban areas of the country on their levels of cleanliness and active implementation of Swachhata Mission initiatives in a timely and innovative manner. The objectives of the survey is to encourage largely scale citizen participation and create awareness amongst all citizens of society. For Northeast Diary, this is Reena Nongmaitam from Agartala.
Project Green Box, an innovative initiative to create environment awareness in the villages, has been launched in Nagaland by Kohima Forest Division. Our Kohima correspondent has more details.
A first of its kind in the state of Nagaland, Green Box, an innovative initiative, has been launched to create environment awareness in the villages, especially among the young people. Kohima Forest Division has started this project on March this year, wherein books were distributed to 3 villages under Kohima district as a pilot project. Let's hear it from Divisional Forest Officer, DFO Kohima, Rajkumar M, speaking on the project.
This project Green Box has been named it. We wanted to establish some kind of a system, some kind of an institution where this create awareness in every village. So that's where this idea comes. We decided why don't we gift a box of books to the libraries, village libraries, or if they don't have a library, this can act as a green library in their respective village. Because since it's a pilot project, it's a kind of a unique and innovative project I would call. I don't think there is anywhere else where it's already been implemented. Probably might be the first time. So as of now, it's a mix of both new as well as used books. Because even used books serve the same purpose. So it's a mix of new and used books. So this books, it won't be gifted to the kids, but it will act as a lending library. So they will take the book, they use it, give it back. So the person who is in charge of the library will be noting down the issue and the remarks and feedback from the kids also. So once we get the feedback in next 2 months, we'll try to expand it to other villages also. This project, even public or the other officials also can be part of it. How it is like 3 things. First thing is, they can suggest the books which they have read. Just the name also will do. They can mail it to us through kohimadfo@gmail.com. Suggest any books which they feel will create an impact in the children or youth's mind. And second thing is, they can donate new books also to our office. They can courier it or they can drop it in my office. Third thing, if they already have used books in their house which they have already read, something is relevant to environment conservation, they can again donate it to us. Once the box is filled, we will ensure it reaches some other villages also. So this is the way we are trying to reach out to as many as villages as possible. So this is the concept of this project.
The Green Box was presented to the village libraries of Zadima, Jakama and Sendinu in the first phase. 51 numbers of old and new books containing varieties of environmental books were presented to these 3 villages. The department also plans to expand the project to other villages of the district. For Northeast Diary, this is Asonyo from AIR News, Kohima.
All over the world, the tourism industry has been badly affected due to the coronavirus pandemic. It has had a bad impact on economies, livelihoods, public services and opportunities. But many times, crisis is an opportunity to rethink and rebuild. So in tourism sector too, people are embarking on rebuilding exercises in many places. The small northeastern state Mizoram, which has suffered a lot in the tourism sector due to the pandemic, is gearing up to welcome tourists with necessary amenities and guide. Here is a report from a correspondent from Aizawl, Irene.
To rewind the wheel of economy and livelihood on the axis of tourism, Mizoram government has started implementing a new framework to gear up the tourism sector. To this end, the state tourism has already created a 98-people batch of tourist guides. The initiative is aimed not only for serving the tourists but also to provide employment to the migrant workers who had lost jobs and returned to the home state Mizoram during the pandemic. Last week, a facilitation and graduation ceremony of these tour guides were held in Aizawl. On this occasion, the Tourism Minister Robert Romoya Roite said that state tourism policy has been framed in a way that it will help to create awareness, training and assessment of compliance of guidelines. He said the tourism has immense potential in the state and the newly trained tourist guides will play a high responsibility to promote and spread awareness about the tourist spots and guide the tourists about locations, culture and heritage of the area. Tourism Minister Mr. Robert further said,
Yeah, it is indeed a historic day for tourism of Mizoram to have as many as 90 plus tour guides who have just graduated from the tour guides training course, and I do hope that the tour guides will play a vital role in the promotion of tourism in Mizoram, and also that these tour guides will have potential chance in their career in the pursuit of tourism development in Mizoram.
Officials said that Northeastern Council has funded the 1-month tour guide training through Mizoram Youth Commission. The training program was organized under Livelihood Generation for Returned Migrant Workers due to COVID-19 outbreak in Mizoram and was planned for 100 people. Since the applicants from the returned migrants were less than 100, self-help group members from the State Rural Livelihood Mission was also trained in the program. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
Following the call of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi for Atmanirbhar Bharat, the government of Manipur is putting all efforts for achieving the goal. Nowadays, many entrepreneurs of the state are involved in businesses concentrating to produce made in Manipur products. In today's Northeast Diary, we bring you a story of a special pottery craft claimed to be found in Ukhrul district of Manipur. A village named Longpi of Ukhrul district is well known for its black earthenware crafted by the Thangkul tribes. Earlier, the villagers produced the pottery for the local consumption. Now, the wave of Atmanirbhar Bharat has also reached the village and started promoting the items in large scale. A report from our Imphal correspondent, J.J. Thokcham.
It is generally believed that cooking in the pottery produced from Longpi village of Ukhrul district Manipur enhanced the taste of the food as compared to other pots and pans. The main ingredients used for this craft is clay and black rock, and the back pots acquire black color and look almost like metal. The technique of this art is said to be handed down from the Neolithic period, and craft require a high degree of skill and attention and is very laborious. The potters mold a range of earthenware in various shapes and sizes without a potter's wheel. Traditionally, this pottery consisting of cookers, water pots, cups, etc. are meant for local use in the village and in neighboring villages. However, this craft has attained an important place in handicraft products outside Manipur and reached different parts of India. Mr. Homi Kamkara is a 3-time winner of State Merit Award on Longpi pottery crafts. The promising pottery artist from Ukhrul district said that he started his pottery making in 2013 after completion of class 12 standard and acquired the skills without any formal training. True to the call of Atmanirbhar Bharat, today's self of Homi Kamkara is running his own pottery business whose products are priced in the range of rupees 100 to as high as rupees 50,000. He said,
"My name is Homi. I'm from Nungbi village, Ukhrul district, Manipur. This pottery is made up of stone and clay. This clay and stone is found only in Nungbi village, and it's a very special kind of clay and stone. This kind of stone and clay is found only in a particular place, and it's a very fine materials. And this we produce in huge area for 5 kilometers walk away. And when we bring in our hometown, we crush the powder, stone, and pot of clay. We crush the powder and we put the stone will be 70% and the clay will be 30%. That will be more lasting. Some people can put equal proportion, but that one is not much lasting. And this is made without machine, just only in our own handmade. And we don't have any chemical. And this product is very hard to make. I actually, for my starting 2013 till in 2021, I just depend only in this sport. I didn't do anything like farming or any other. I just depend in this sport. Roughly like 7 lakhs in a year. Right now I have 10 employees. This is a stone. Actually they call a serpentine rock, but in our language, in my village name, we call Rishonung. And the clay, that one we call Salaneri.
With Vocal for Local is getting louder and louder with each passing day, and many more are producing and promoting local products, it is hoped that the goal of achieving Atmanirbhar Bharat would be a reality soon. This is JJ Thoksom from Imphal for AIR News, Northeast Diary.
Friends, most of us are familiar with the Majuli in Assam, which is the largest river island in the world. But how many of us know about Narayan Dahar River Island in Barak River in South Assam? Our correspondent shares the details.
Majuli in the Brahmaputra River in India is recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's largest river island. Similarly, Umananda Island, measuring about 2 to 7 on the mighty Brahmaputra River near Guwahati, is said to be a contender to be the smallest habitable riverine island in the world. Incidentally, there is at least one more contender of Umananda Island from Assam itself in the race to be recognized as the smallest habitable river island of the world. Narayan Dahar is that river island on the river Barak in the Barak Valley of South Assam. Located on 5 miles upstream from Phulartal, Narayan Dahar measures much less than Umananda Island. However, since the immediate riverside area is not easily approachable by road, the case of Narayan Dahar has not been properly recorded yet. Late environmental activist Piyush Kanti Das and Professor Parthakar Chaudhary of Assam University had measured the island to be 6,400 square feet during winter season of 2007. Umananda Island is about 0.02 square kilometers, much larger than this island. There was a Vishnu temple on this island. According to folklore, a prince of Manipur had established the temple. However, in the flood of 1969, the temple was devastated. According to folklore, Khairakpa, the warrior or prince who established the temple on this island, had spent his life here itself because his dream girl, Laima, also died here. In their memory, on a specific day, many people visit this place. Now, in the absence of proper communication and amenities, it is very difficult to permanently stay here. However, Narayan-Dhar stands with its potential to be the smallest habitable island in the world and potential tourist attraction. This is Sharmila Goswami with Ritesh and Shashwati from Dibrugarh, Assam for Northeast Diary.
With an objective to sensitize state skill development mission and district skill committees for effective implementation of the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0, a regional workshop was conducted at Gangtok, Sikkim today with all 8 northeastern states. Our Sikkim correspondent has more details.
The Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has organized its first regional workshop on Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0 at Gangtok, where all 8 northeastern states along with their district skilling committees are also participating in this workshop. As you know, the Prime Minister Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0 was launched on 15th January 2021, and the implementation is in full progress in all over India, despite so many problems like COVID and etc. The idea is to sensitize the skill development missions and district skilling committees to participate fully, and also to realize the whole gamut of activities that the government is doing on the skilling front, whether it is the Kaushal Vikas Yojana, whether it is the apprenticeship scheme, whether it is the ITIs, whether it is the entrepreneurship or the Jan Shikshan Sansthan. We have received overwhelming response from the northern states, and northeastern states have also been the focus of the Government of India in all its development efforts, and on the scheme also we have made special provisions so that the participations and involvement of people in the northern states also is improved, and we look forward to their active participation in this skilling endeavor.
As the chill of winter recedes and the charm of spring descends on the Khasi Hills, Shillong, Scotland of the East is marked by one of the community's biggest festivals. Shad Shuk Minsiem is the Khasi way of offering their thanks to the Creator for all the blessings and bountiful harvests received, characterized by many symbolic rituals, dances and the best of traditional apparel. Shad Shuk Minsiem, the dance of peaceful hearts, is held during the month of April. Spring is symbolic as a season of rebirth, as is the case in many societies. It signifies the beginning of new cycles during which new seedlings are planted. Shad Shuk Minsiem is an agrarian festival and celebrates the optimism for the coming year. The biggest visual highlight of Shad Shuk Minsiem is the dance and accompanying music. The layout of the dancers can teach observant viewers a few things about the distinctive matrilineal societies that celebrate this occasion. This year, the festival is set to begin from the 10th of April and will conclude on the 12th. To know more about the festival, AIR Shillong caught up with Sing Ro Flang Kharsiang, Assistant General Secretary of Seng Khasi, Seng Khamai, a social cultural organization striving to preserve the traditional Khasi way of life.
Hello listeners of Northeast Diary. Today we are joined with Sinoplang Kharsing, Assistant General Secretary of Seng Khasi, Seng Khamai, who will talk about this upcoming festival called Shad Shuk Minsiem, one of the biggest festivals of the Khasi community. Welcome to Northeast Diary. The first question I would like to ask is, what is Shad Shuk Minsiem and what is this festival all about?
Thank you for bringing your attention about the Shad Shuk Minsiem festival in the Northeast Diary. Like other communities all over India, the Khasi communities also, they also have the Thanksgiving festival, which they celebrate in the month of spring, which signifies that they want to give thanks to the Creator as He has protected and take care of them for the last year, and so that this year beginnings before we go with the sowing season, so also we want to give thanks to the Creator so that this year also we'll have a bountiful harvest, and also we'll have a very good health and a prosperity in the family and in the community as a whole. As we call Shad Shuk Minsiem, it means dance with a joyful heart. It is dance with a joyful heart in the sense that last year God has protected us. He has given us a bountiful harvest. He has blessed us in the form of in the work and in every spheres of life. So that's why we call the Shad Shuk Minsiem dance with a joyful heart. And this dance is held in the entire Khasi Hills during the spring period.
Okay, sir. The next question which I would like to ask is how this festival came about and its cultural significance with the Khasi community.
This festival has taken place since time immemorial. The exact date which this festival started, that cannot be documented, and you cannot have evidence for that also. But it has been transferred from us, from generation to generations, from ancestors. So, as I've said in the beginning, it is significant for us because it is a mark of respect that we give to the Creator, as He has protected us for the last year. So that in this year also, beginning with the Spring Festival, before we start the sowing season and doing other new jobs in the coming year, so that He'll also bless, as He has blessed in the last year, He'll continue to shower the blessings in the next year also.
The relevance of this festival in this fast-moving world where the world has become like a global village, what is the relevance of now?
The relevance of this festival now, as you have said, that as the world is becoming smaller and smaller by the global village, and with the presence of this media, visual media everywhere, with this festival we are able to show to the world the Khasi identity. Through the Khasi scene, you can find the Khasi philosophical thoughts, the Khasi way of living, and then we can find the Khasi social fabric, in which we call the Kor and the Kha. And you can also find the Khasi social structure, in which how the male and what is the position of the female and what is the position of the female. Through this Sukman scene, especially if you interview a dress dancer, that is both male and female, that will through the dress where I can explain to you much better and in clarity how it really presented to the world the real identity of the Khasi.
Okay, the fourth question which I would like to ask you is about the main attraction of the Satsuk Mensim festival and how it has helped the tourists to get to know more about the Khasi society, or let's say how it attracts tourists.
As I've already replied in the third question which you asked, is that from the Satsuk Mensim, you identify, you know who's a Khasi. You also know who's a Khasi way of thought. So, from that dress, we can show to the world what is the Khasi philosophical way of thought. That is from the part of the religion. What is the Khasi social fabric way of thought? And what is the Khasi way of position to the male and to the female also. So that is why you find many research scholars, especially during the Satsuk Mensim at Waiting Ground, which is the biggest Satsuk Mensim. Many research scholars used to come, and they used to take documentation, and they used to take the deep study of this dance, because from this dance you can make out the entire Khasi philosophical way of thinking.
Okay, then we are talking about the male and the female dancers over here. Can you please elaborate about the dress that they wear?
You see, the female, this crown which they wear on the head, that symbolizes the dignity and the position in which we, the Khasi societies, we give to the female. That is one part of the dress. Why? Because we in the Khasi society, we used to uphold the woman in very high esteem. And for that also, we gave him the title Kalukhimai. We used to call to the woman Kalukhimai. It means Lukhimai is more or less like a house goddess, which looks after the house, which looks after the well-being of the family and the entire family as a whole. So that is one aspect only of the dress. And if you look from the aspects from the male dress, you'll find the whisk where the male put on top of his turban. That signifies that a man is empowered to lead the house, to lead the society, and to lead the community as a whole. So if you look at the dress of a male dancer, you'll find that there's he used to carry 3 arrows at the back. That arrows also, it signifies that one arrow stands for man, one arrow stands for God, one arrow stands for his mother ancestors, and one arrow stands for his father ancestor, for the first father. So it signifies that when you dance, even from the God and the ancestors, they are happy with it, they are together with it. So there's a lot aspects of the dance also. That is in just a brief form.
Okay, the last question which I would like to ask is, what do you expect from the Khasi community when it comes to celebrating this famous festival?
Yes, that's a very nice question. As you find out now that every year you find that more and more Khasis, they want to participate in this dance. Because why? When we go outside, The moment we leave our state of Meghalaya, when we go outside, not to speak about go to other countries, just within a country, the moment we go to any metropolis, they'll ask, what is your culture? What is your identity? So, if you haven't participated in it, or if you have no knowledge about it, you'll be left blank. And it'll be a great shame on you, and people will look down also on you if you don't know what is your own culture, what is your own identity. Because after all, no matter what education we pursued, ultimately we cannot lose our roots. We would like to encourage all the Khasi brethren to come and take part in this festival, as it symbolizes it shows our identity to the whole world that we have our own religion, we have our own identity, which when compared with other communities of the world is second to none.
Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time.
In the heritage section this week, we will take you to Arunachal Pradesh, where the Theravada Buddhist community is preparing to celebrate one of its main festival, Sanken, next week.
In Arunachal Pradesh, a good number of population are followers of Lord Buddha. Both the schools of Buddhism, namely the Mahayana and Theravada, can be found in the state. The Theravada Buddhist community in Arunachal Pradesh is very enthusiastically preparing for this year's Sanken festival. Sanken will be celebrated from 14th to 16th of April this year. It is celebrated in the last days of the old year, and the new year begins on the day just after the end of the festival. Arya Dhamma, priest of Theravada Monastery in Itanagar, said that Sanken is also called the water festival, but people splash water on each other. He says splashing water on each other is believed to wash away bad luck.
सांकेन स्पेशली ये शब्द जो है ड्राइवेटिव शब्द है, ये प्राचीन भाषा पाली का शब्द है, ये संकंता कहा जाता है पाली में। इससे ही ड्राइवेटिव होके खमती डायलेक्ट में आया है सांकेन। तो सांकेन एक्चुअली वाटर फेस्टिवल है, और वाटर फेस्टिवल ये भगवान बुद्ध के मूर्तियों को जो है एक प्रोसेशन के शुभ यात्रा के रूप में ढोल बाजा के साथ एक प्रोसेशन से मेन मोनेस्ट्री से ये सांकेन मोनेस्ट्री में ले जाते हैं। तो वहाँ सांकेन मोनेस्ट्री में वहाँ पर एक चक्रनुमा रहता है, वहाँ पर पानी सुगंधित जल से जो है सभी जो है जल अभिषेक किया जाता है भगवान का। यहाँ सांकेन सबसे पहले भगवान की मूर्तियों को जल अभिषेक करने के बाद लोग अपनी माता पिताओं का जो सभी परिवार जो है उनका भी ये जल अभिषेक, उनका भी पैर धोया जाता है, फिर माँ बाप का अलग से आशीर्वाद लिया जाता है इसकी। और छोटे जो है बड़ों को जो है पानी दूर से नहीं फेंका जाता है, उनको जो है कंधे में एक सम्मान के साथ उनको जो है पानी डाला जाता है। और फिर ये अपने एक हम उम्र के एक ही एज के अगर लड़का हो या लड़की हो, दोनों किसी को भी पानी डाल सकता है, इसमें कोई बुरा मानने की बात नहीं है इसमें। तो ये एक एंटरटेनमेंट का जल एक दूसरे को जल डाला जाता है, दूर से फेंका जाता है, छिप के डाला जाता है, तो उनको जो है एक सरप्राइज देने की इच्छा से। तो ये एक प्यार बांटने की दृष्टि से जो है एक दूसरे को जल डाला जाता है।
The Theravada community in Arunachal Pradesh comprises of the Khamti, Singpho and the Thangsa tribe. Sanken is believed to be not just a festival to mark the end of the old and the beginning of the new year, but it is a celebration of the end of the old wounds, hurt and bad feelings, and the start of friendships, relationships and life anew with a pure mind, heart and soul. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Tole, Itanagar.
And now, here are some interesting facts about the Northeast. The Northeast is one of the most sparsely populated regions in all of the country. About 70% of the world's orchids are found in the Northeast. With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.